Hey, what is good, everybody? KazamaFury here, and let's see if I've gone live already. I'm trying to get this whole thing situated. Yeah, I'm live, okay, and I have to change up the title of this video, so give me a second to edit this. Let's edit it right now. Today is July 8th, so let's switch the date. Okay. Switching the date, let's save that. Alright. Sorry about that. Damn, I still messed up the date. Let's edit that again. Anyway, if you see the background of me right here, you start to notice that the rumors are not stopping. It's either the Nintendo Switch Mini or the Nintendo Switch Pro that's been rumored. And you know why I bring this up in this video today? It's because I remember about 2 years ago I did a video. I think it was the Go Home Nintendo You're Drunk video, and it actually shows me that what I said in that video was right. Power is an important thing. Shows me that. Let me switch this. It's an important thing with this console. If everybody's making these speculations, making these rumors about the Pro or the Mini, well, especially the Pro, that power is an important thing. And I'm not saying it's the end all be all, because we've had a lot of consoles that have been on paper more powerful, but they haven't produced any games that were quality. I mean, that they produced quality games, but they weren't the dominant system. Like last generation with PlayStation, it didn't really start to really find its way into the end of its life cycle because the cell processor was hard to develop on. I mean, you want to go on paper, Sega Saturn on paper is a more powerful console than the PlayStation, but its price point and the fact that it was very hard to develop on made it the least favorable console. And that's what happens. But what's going on with Nintendo right now is that in order for Nintendo to get quality third-party games that its competitors getting simultaneously more often, they need better hardware. And I wish a lot of people understood that they need better hardware, and this is why these rumors keep going on the way they do. You know, some people saying, you know, the biggest shills here, of course, RGT. These fake pictures right here, that Nvidia one, that's fake one. Look at Review Tech USA saying the Pro may never happen. And then more Spawnwave. Spawnwave has been very on it, but he's always clearly said that it's been, you know, it's all rumors and speculation. And I'm like, you know what? This proves my point. If you go here, let's see if I can go to it right now. Let's go to Interact. Let's move into this. Let's go home to my video. Let me see my channel. I'm trying to find it now. Let's not go out. Let's get out of that. Alright. Anyway, let's go to library. Stuff that I've seen. Videos here, whatever. Liked videos. Alright. Let's go here. Alright. I can't really seem to find it right now. So that's not what this is about. Basically, let's go back to this. As you can see, there's been a lot of rumors and a lot of shit talking, and I call it shit talking because there's bullshit like this with this dude here with his mouth wide open and all his screen. I hate that shit for some fucking reason. And same fanboys, the same crap. And you know what's going on? Nothing has come of it. And if there is a pro to it, let me ask you something. You really think Nintendo's going to spend a lot of money to make a pro console? Like, 300 is asking a lot right now for that, for the Switch. To be honest with you, it is. I mean, I got one sitting right over there next to my One X. It's a lot to ask for that, because you know how much I paid pre-owned high quality for that Xbox One X? I paid $350. And I know that I'm getting a graphical upgrade. I did a comparison. Maybe one day I'll run it and show you. But I did a graphical comparison of playing Crackdown 3 on my standard Xbox compared to playing it on the One X. There's a difference, a major difference. And the thing is, it has the cooling processor in it. It's a home console. I don't have to worry about it overheating, batteries going out. To pay for something as speculative as a Pro, as a Switch Pro, is it really going to be worth the money? Hey, what's going on? How you doing, Michael? I'm doing good, man. You know, I'm seeing MMA fighters using V triggers on one another. That was crazy. But back to what I was saying. Would you spend your money on a Switch Pro that's gonna probably cost, I would say, somewhere between $350 to $400? Think about it, Pro. Think about it. Nobody's talking about a price point. If such a thing came to fruition, you're gonna be paying like $350 to $400, more than likely about that. Like, anybody answer me with the price point. What you think? You really think they're gonna put out something more powerful for the same amount of money and take that much of a dive financially by cutting the cost of it just to sell it to you, when they already by now have sold as many Switches that as they are going to sell in this generation? There's going to be more. Believe me, the holiday season's coming. There's going to be more. My thing is, hey, what's going on, Zone X? How you doing? Do you really think that the Switch, having a Switch Pro, costing nearly $350 to $400? This is rumor, because I'm not sitting here spreading rumors about it. I'm talking about the rumors that people are putting out about this thing, and they're not talking about price point. So you let me know, Zonix, what do you think about the whole situation? Because I don't think it's gonna happen, and if it does happen, do you really think that the fans are gonna pay for this? Like, or are they going to complain? Are they going to pay for it blindly, and then yet they're going to ignore you when you bring up the fact that they were complaining about the price points of their competitors' consoles? Something that you know that you're going to get a quality performance out of when it comes to update, like running games. You're going to get quality out of it. So, I honestly don't think the Pro is going to be a thing, or it should be a thing. That's me. You know, they should have got it right the first time. And I'm going to say what I've always been saying. I'm looking at it because it's the only way I can literally look at the comments while I'm talking. And let's read here. You said, I think the Switch Pro thing is a flop. I'm sorry, I just can't see Nintendo do any other improvement. Thank you. That's exactly what I feel. How I feel. Like, and to actually charge. You know that. What do you think the price point is going to be? If they even thought about it, I'm saying $350 to $400. That's in that range right there. I'm saying about $350 to $400. If such a thing ever was to come out. That's about the highest, between the highest it should go. My dog's snoring. I don't know if you can hear him. Oh, he heard me. He woke up a little bit. Okay, stop doing all that snoring. I'm trying to record here. So I don't see anything coming of this. But now they seem to have been switching. Let's go to the mini rumors, because they pick one and run with it. That's how I feel about this. Pick one and run with it. Let's go to that. Hey, what's going on, Demetrius? We talking about all these rumors about the Switch Pro and the Switch Mini, and I'm telling you, like me and Zone X was talking about it, we don't see it happening. Like you see it, you saw it too. You know Nintendo is not going to pay. I mean, they're not going to develop something that's going to cost them more money, and then it's going to be put out at about $350 to $400 if such a thing existed. And I'm like, I don't see it happening. And now they even shift to talking about Mini. If the Mini come out and it runs no better, I will be laughing. Now people want to add their own rumors to it, talking about it's going to possibly be in 1080p. I'm like, wow, how long did it take Nintendo to run a console in 1080p? Or why are they making 1080p? I'm sorry, I think the Wii U can have settings like that. My mistake. Anyway, why are you trying to sell 1080p as something significant? Oh yeah, that's right, because the Switch can't run it. It can't run 1080p on a regular, which is that's pretty damn bad, y'all. That's pretty bad. And you said it's not going to be a substantial upgrade. It's not. It really isn't. I don't know what else they can do to it. It's going to overheat. It's a handheld. Basically, it's a handheld. They call it hybrid till the cows come home. It's a handheld that overheats, battery drains quickly, and because of its processes and because of its size, it's going to fuck with the performance of the games. There's no way of getting around that. That's not hating. It's fucking fact. The Breath of the Wild was dry as... yeah, it was dry. And now they're putting out a sequel with all the stuff that they couldn't include in the initial release. And they like, oh, it's a sequel coming out for it. I'm like, no, it's all the unused assets. You know? This isn't like I said, and I think in my last live stream, this isn't the first time Nintendo actually has taken unused assets of a game and made it into something new. Majora's Mask is exactly that type of game. It's all the unused assets of Ocarina of Time that couldn't fit, but then they made it into something else. That's all they're doing right now. You said, let's see, I guess people haven't learned from the OG Game Boy Color. And yes. And remember, I was talking about it the other day with you, D. I was talking about the fact that when the Game Boy Advance was being phased out, which they was kind of blindsided with it. You know, I should have saw it coming. The DS had a Game Boy Advance port on it. And then it was able to play DS and Game Boy Advance games. And then the next the next DS, no more Game Boy Advance games. They was like, that's it. And yeah, that's pretty much where it's at now. And then it went to 3DS, which rendered, I don't know, it's crazy, which pretty much rendered your old DS unusable. You can play the old DS games on it, but if you want to play the 3DS games on it, you gotta own the 3DS. So Nintendo has been fucking people for years when it comes to that. And then they did it with the Wii also. The Wii was a souped up GameCube, and then they took away the GameCube functionality, and when they put out a mini of it, they took out the GameCube functionality. That's why the Wii is worth so much still. To be honest with you, not like a significant high amount, but it's worth a pretty penny, the original model, because if you're a GameCube owner or you have GameCube games, you're in the house. You can play both of them. It's backwards compatible, which, you know, Nintendo initially puts out backwards compatible, like they put out a backwards compatible DS initially, and then they rendered the GBA aspect irrelevant. They phased that out, and then they phased out the DS altogether for 3DS. So like, but then Nintendo fanboys like to always say that they like to always point fingers at Sony and Microsoft about shit, and they run with a company that does a lot of predatory and a lot of money grabbing shit. Go figure. And you see, yeah, the 2DS basically. And then we read that basically part 2 is the rest of the game. We're going old school, this 1 and this 2, pretty much. And then on top of that, in between this, they had downloadable content. They had seasons. Let's not forget that Breath of the Wild had DLC. And let's not forget that Metroid 2, Return of Samus, the remake that came out for the 3DS, had basically, you had to buy an amiibo to unlock the harder difficulty, to get an extra power canteen and some other features by buying the Samus amiibo for that. And I'm like, yeah, but Sony and Microsoft bad, right? Go figure. I mean, me too. I would be shocked. Because I think I even said in my old video that if Nintendo put out something like that, I even said in my old video that if Nintendo put out something like that, I would be like, it would be like mind blowing, like, wow, really. But I don't see it happening. I really don't, y'all. So, what's been good, everybody? You see, I'm not sure what they can add to the sequel. It's just gonna be another dry Breath of the Wild game. Come on. Zone X, explain to the people who are like, so when they rewatch the stream, or explain to you in the comment section, why do you think Breath of the Wild was dry? Yeah, it is going to be up at the end of the next year. I believe you. I really do believe it's going to be up. Because the port begging has gone way too far with this. Like, that's the thing about it. As fucked up as it is that Microsoft don't have much first party games, I don't hear nobody on the Microsoft fandom. I don't hear none of the Xbox talking about they want Persona 5. I ain't hear nobody talking about that. I didn't hear nobody even talking about Final Fantasy or Kingdom Hearts. But Square Enix decided to bring them out on there because they know they looking to maximize their sales. They not, console exclusivity with Square has went out the window. That at the beginning was like loyalty. That was a system that Sony, you gotta understand, Sony did push Final Fantasy in the direction that Square Enix wanted it to go in, meaning that they put out the proper hardware that had Square Enix realize their dreams when it comes to where they wanted to take Final Fantasy in a creative standpoint. Like, think about it. They wanted Final Fantasy 7 to be 3D. They wanted it to be high, they wanted it to be a bigger game. And Nintendo 64 was going with cartridge. And remember, Nintendo PlayStation was supposed to be the thing. You think if Nintendo PlayStation would have existed, that there would have been the Final Fantasy 7 as we know it probably wouldn't even have been a thing. But it happened. Let me see. It's the people saying that. Let me read the comment section. People saying that Nintendo Switch is going to surpass PS4 this generation. Nobody really cares. Yeah, they don't. They don't. PS4 knows that at the end of their life cycle. They know that already. It's like, it's done. Like, everything that's coming out now is pretty much what they had in motion. They're worried that they focusing on developing a PS5, and I think right now I don't even know what Microsoft's up to besides all those companies all those developers that they got are working on stuff for Scarlet. That's all I'm thinking about. Like, they announced that last year, and like I said before, a lot of people actually thought this year they was gonna have games ready for it. And then, like, people, like, especially like the ponies and the Switch bitches were like, oh well, look at Microsoft, they ain't got nothing, man. Sony won this next generation already. I'm like, shut the fuck up. You guys are so pathetic. Like, come on now. Think about everything as a collective. They don't. Let me see. And a lot of companies stayed with Sony they stayed with them out of that. Like, Square Enix was one that basically stayed with Sony because Sony was making a console that allowed them to make Final Fantasy into a more, I guess, somewhat mainstream series, whereas they were limited by the hardware that Nintendo decided to stick with. Nintendo decided to stick with cartridge until GameCube came out. They decided to stick with cartridge with the N64. And to be honest with you, N64 is my least favorite Nintendo console. I'm not going to even tell you a lie. You know, for the time, Nintendo, the NES was great for its time. Super NES was great for its time. The N64 was detrimental, was a step back for its time when you had even Sega Saturn put out a CD based console, and and they had less games, and I actually like that better than the fucking N64. And then PlayStation, enough said about that. Dreamcast, enough said about that. They were moving the hardware they was developing the hardware into where it's coming at now. Alright? But, you know, so a lot of companies stay with Sony. Nintendo didn't want Yakuza. Yeah, I'm not surprised that Nintendo didn't want Yakuza. I'm not surprised whatsoever that they weren't. And you said Zonex, you said the environments in Zelda are basically dead. The towns are empty now. Yes, I saw that. It's just grass. Just grass as far as the eye can see. I have it for the Wii U. It's just grass. I just wanted to see what you thought about it. It's just grass and just shrines. Now there's dungeons. I'm like, so since there's going to be dungeons in part 2, is there going to be any more shrines? Like, it can only be prioritized to have shrines in this version for the most part, and then dungeons in part 2 for the most part? And I'm like, shit, okay. You know, and I'm thinking, how's The Witcher gonna fare on this? How The Witcher is gonna feel the Switch? I don't. I cringe at the thought of that. And you said also, so you hyped about Animal Crossing. I don't know. I mean, no disrespect to anybody who like Animal Crossing. It ain't my thing. And you're like, it's fire. So and so, fire. Fuck it, Emperor. That man, Emperor Barrett Black is he's such a fraud, yo. It's a shame. He's a joke too. I like how Blackball put him out there. He still cannot admit that he took a L betting against Blackball. That video, like, Blackball put the video out there, bro. And he said, I feel sorry for the idiots who that thing Final Fantasy 7 is going to push gaming forward. No. You know what's really gonna push gaming forward? When we get back to more originality, man. Right now, everybody's banking on remakes. I mean, I thought Resident Evil 2 remake was good, you know, but everybody's banking on it. And now that Resident Evil 2 remake was such a success, everybody is begging for Nemesis to be a remake. They already remade Part 1. They were talking about remaking that again in the vein of Resident Evil 2 remake. Now, like I said in another video of mine, how are you going to make Nemesis in the vein of Resident Evil 2 remake, where they turn the zombies into these damn, nearly these nigh unkillable undead creatures? Now, I can understand, and I said it, I called it. I hate to sound like I'm tooting my own horn. I'm not tooting my own horn. It's just that I said this a long time ago during my RE2 videos, like a year or two ago, that in order for Resident Evil 2 remake to work over the shoulder, they're gonna have to make the enemies more difficult to kill. Go back and watch the video. I think, let me see if I can even find, let me see, green screen browser. Let's go here. Let me go here and let me see interact. I think I said it somewhere. Let me bring up the videos. Let me see if I even... said it like in one of these things. I think I said in one of these videos right here that either the remake rumor wagon or Capcom's dropped the ball. These two videos right here with me in it on screen grab. I think I said in one of those two videos, I said that if it's going to be over the shoulder, the zombies are going to be made difficult, because they will be too easy to kill if you blew their heads off with a magnum over the shoulder with precise aiming. When you can precisely aim like you could in Resident Evil 4, like you can do in this game, even though the guns don't really, even though they made the zombies hard to kill, if you could precisely aim and the game had the zombies with the exact same vulnerability that they had 21 years ago, the game would be easy. You would be murdering everything in sight. You would be blowing heads off like nothing. You could put them down. They wouldn't get back up at all. Now in this game you have to destroy their brains. But when you shoot them in the fucking head in the RE2 remake, the heads don't explode. Why? Because it goes back to what I said. The game would be too easy. You know? And you said that the RE2 Reimagine was horrible. I mean, no, I actually thought it was fine. Like, as for if, like, to push the game in a more horrific, tense direction, it was fine. But it will never replace the original Resident Evil 2. It's like you said, a lot of people consider it a reimagination, but it's a remake. Remakes ain't supposed to really follow the grain of the original. I mean, hell, the Resident Evil 1 remake followed the core essence. That's what you're supposed to get, the core essence, but not everything to a T. It changed. Resident Evil 1 remake was a rare breed because it actually revitalized, it actually revamped Resident Evil 1, but it did not feel so out of place like RE2 does in comparison to the remake. They feel like two totally different games. But I like that what they did with the characters. I think Nick Apostolidis as Leon did a great job with making Leon sound young, and that, you know, I really think he did a good job with that. And so did what's her name? Nicole Paniceto, I think her name is, that played Claire. They did really good voice work in this game, and the acting was good in this game, really good. Something like the old ones couldn't have. So imagine if the old ones had this quality of work put into it. That's what people wanted. I know people wanted that. People wanted that production quality that the remake had, but they wanted the game to feel more like Resident Evil 2 did. This is why like I said, the original Resident Evil's remake is such a beloved game now because it melted the new with the old. It melted the new with the old. That's what's been a good thing. Yes, I agree, Zonex. The shoot mechanic when it comes to headshots is ass, and they did that to make the game so fucking difficult to play. Like they force fed a lot of difficulty into this game. That right there is a problem, and that's why it's not a perfect game to me. But I was like, you know what? It's fucking scary. It's fucking scary. But my biggest gripe, and it will still always be my biggest gripe, is the fact that they made the game, they made the zombies undifficult to kill. And people could say, well, look at Resident Evil 1 Remake. You can't headshot every zombie in that game. And they will turn the crimson heads. It's kind of the same. You know what? That is a valid point. Even the Resident Evil 1 Remake started changing that whole aspect of you can't just murder, you can't just one shot a fucking zombie and blow his brains out. It's random. It is by chance. It's random to do head damage like that. So I can't even be that mad at RE2, but I'm seeing where they're going with this. So now, back up to speed with what I was trying to fucking say initially before I started rambling on, is how are you going to make Nemesis a game like Resident Evil 2 Remake? How are you going to make the remake of Nemesis like that, where Nemesis runs, he shoots rocket launchers at you, and you have to avoid loads and shitloads of undead zombies, and you telling me I'm supposed to watch out for a killing machine that can run like a fucking track star and then dodge zombies that are difficult to kill? Like, something's got to give here. That's my issue with the RE3 remake. This is why I say in my video, be careful what you wish for. This is why I said in my video, be careful what you wish for. This one right here, RE3 remake, the fourth video down. That's why I said in this video, be careful what you wish for, because how you gonna do that? You know? So what's going on? Hey, what's going on, Nemesis? I'm just talking this whole thing because I've been telling people, like, I've been thinking about the whole thing when it comes to the RE2, like how are they gonna do Nemesis? Like, I don't even know how, after developing RE2 the way it is, if they're gonna be using those assets, because you know they are, because it takes place in Raccoon City. I mean, hell, if you go into the RPD, you see big breaks in the wall, like something big and strong crashed through that wall, and you like, is that Nemesis? Was that Nemesis that broke through there? You start to think about that. Yeah, I'm wondering too. Like, I'm really wondering as well. Like, how's it gonna be? Like, I don't know. And look, I even put that here. It even bring up our discussion when I put in KazamaFury RE3. It has your video up there, Nemesis, that's the top one. And then this one I was looking for, the be careful what you wish for video. Like, I don't know how they're gonna, what they're gonna do with the zombies. Are they gonna still make them hard to kill? And how are you gonna avoid all of that hell getting through them and then fighting Nemesis at the same time? Like, I don't know how they're gonna do this. Like, I wish I knew. They're not gonna give him the fedora, okay? The fedora is an original Shinji Mikami concept. When he was developing RE2, him and his team, Mr. X was initially drawn and was going to have a fedora, but I guess for limitations of the PS1 console, they couldn't really do that. Ada was going to have a trench coat. All of that was planned originally. So I'm not even like I'm not even mad about the fedora thing, because that was his original designs. You can find pictures of it online. You know what? I was hoping that they would have made part of this remake, but they didn't. The G in that. Originally, when Birkin, G. Birkin, when he killed his wife, she originally was supposed to have been infected and became a G monster himself. No, it's okay, Zone X. I'm just putting you onto that just in case. A lot of people didn't know that a lot of that fedora was an original concept, and the Ada trench coat was an original concept. And I like how people were like actually thinking, oh my god, they changed the outfit and everything for good and stuff. And I'm like, just hold on and wait for the game to come out before you make assumptions like that. So, and sure enough, she still had the red dress on under it. Yeah, it was all in Resident Evil 1.5. And I remember when, what's the seasonal YouTuber name? Where's Barry? He only really comes alive when new Resident Evil games come out. But anyway, I remember telling him that this game was going to use a lot of assets from Resident Evil 1.5, and he said, no, it's not. And sure enough, when he was playing it, he started to realize I told him the gates, the gates coming down, the metal gates, the powered gates, Ada's look initially, Mr. X's fedora, and other things, the shooting range, all that was stuff that was in 1.5. They just gonna bring it into this version and really make it look different and really make this new Raccoon City pop. And the fact that the city looks like a goddamn city instead of a rural town. Because how is it called Raccoon City and it looks like a rural town? It didn't really start to look like a city until Nemesis made it look like a city. Because you went to parts where Leon and Claire didn't go. That game was pretty much self-contained to a degree. Whereas Nemesis was this part of the map and RE2 was this part of the map, and they fit kind of like a glove once you put them together and stuff. This further proves why Nemesis was originally a Resident Evil 2 side story. But because Sony being petty, Sony's like, look, you making a game for Sega Dreamcast? This is no, it's not going to be Resident Evil 3. The deal is that we're going to have all the number sequels on our game. You got to make that into something else. And that's why Resident Evil Code Veronica is called Code Veronica and not called Resident Evil 3. And Resident Evil 3 is called Resident Evil isn't called Last Escape like it was supposed to have been called. It was supposed to have been called Resident Evil Last Escape, or Biohazard Last Escape. But because Sony and Capcom being just disloyal to like both PlayStation and Sega, whole bunch of shit. Yep. And you come from Resident Evil Outbreak days, and you have Elza Walker. That's why they put her motorcycle costume on Claire in this one. I was hoping that we got to see like Elza Walker in the flesh, or even mention her. Like I wanted Claire to be college roommates with Elza Walker, and be like, you know what, just mention Elza and Glancing. If she would have mentioned Elza and Glancing as her friend, I would be like, oh, that's dope. The fact that you just throw her motorcycle costume on her and just call it the Elza Walker, that felt kind of cheap. It's like what they did with Metal Gear Solid 5 Phantom Pain, where you made this promise to all of us that Solid Snake would be in Metal Gear Solid 5 Phantom Pain. We got Liquid Snake. Eli is Liquid Snake. Spoiler alert. But we didn't get young David. We got David and Eli, which is biblical names, but we didn't get young David like we were supposed to get in Metal Gear Solid 5. We got Eli, who was a fucking punk. I hated Eli so goddamn much, And what's going on, Strategic Productions? And Phantom Pain is gay. Oh man, I actually played the shit out of Metal Gear Solid Phantom Pain. It's just that when it came to Act 3, that's when you started realizing how much Konami fucked Kojima over and how the game was abruptly cut short. You know? We were supposed to see more of a connective tissue between Metal Gear, the original NES version, and Phantom Pain. Yeah, Solid 5 Phantom Pain. We're supposed to see more connective tissue. But when they cut out 51, episode 51, which was supposed to show you like how, which pretty much set up the future of Metal Gear Solid 1. When they cut that whole episode 51, I was like, you know what, fuck Konami. Alright? Fuck them. Yes. I mean, that's what, and you said, okay, the gameplay. Yes, exactly. That's why I think the way I do about Metal Gear Solid 5, the gameplay was awesome. But like you said, the cut content means to be upset about, and I get that. That's exactly what I'm upset about, is that. But to sit here and actually think that, you know, the gameplay did it for me. You know, that really did it for me. I really had fun playing Metal Gear Solid 5. But the cut content really did. Like, that shit just destroyed me on the inside as a Metal Gear Solid fan. You know, I think the only game I really didn't play, because I just didn't really care for it that much, and this is an unpopular opinion that I didn't care for it. Hey, how you doing, Chris? You're not too late. You know what game I didn't care for in the Metal Gear Solid 5? I mean, the Metal Gear Solid trilogy. Like the 5 games, and its unpopular opinion was Snake Eater. And I mean, oh, but it's the best. I just didn't care about it. I didn't say I hate the game. I actually sat there and watched people play it. I think it's, like, story-wise, I really like it. I just didn't care to play it. Now, Guns of the Patriots, which a lot of people talk shit on, I actually like playing Guns of the Patriots. I actually really liked playing Guns of the Patriots. Let me see, so I actually really like playing Guns of the Patriots. I really did. Yes, I can understand that you think it's a shitty sequel because it's unfinished, but it plays great. It plays great. I think that's what won its awards that it did, because 2 factors. It plays great. They knew it was Kojima's last Metal Gear Solid 5 game, and they just the fans wanted to show their appreciation. But on the long term effect of things, we all know that it had some flaws to it that he couldn't control. And Konami wanted to be a pachinko machine company. Hey, now they became a pachinko machine company. That goes to show all they care about is money. And yes, I know, and I've said it in many other videos, that's what these companies are here to make, money. But you have to at least appease your hardcore fan base. The problem is when you appease money too much, over alienating your fan base, is when problems happen. And that's what happened. And you appease money over your fan base. I mean, like, that might be a problem with PS5, to be honest with you. Like, I don't know if you've been hearing, but Sony, like, they saying the PS5 is supposed to cater hard to the hardcore gamers. And let's be honest with you, hardcore gamers, casual gamers, if you're gonna appease just to these folks, just to the hardcore gamers, you are not going to be successful. You have to be somewhere, hover here between both of them. You gotta hover in this headspace right here. To the hardcore and the casual, you have to hover to both of these people. You can't just be right here or right here, because when you appeasing the casuals, the hardcore gamers feel some sort of way. Microsoft, I'm talking to you. That's what happened with Microsoft. They was appeasing to it, but Microsoft made the money. But then Microsoft realized, like, yeah, we know we fucked up. You know what? We heard you. We don't have enough games out. We got these companies. So next time around, we're going to try to get this right. But when you just saying, this is how I know that a lot of these companies pay attention to what people on social media say. And the Sony fanboys run their mouth so much about supposedly being hardcore gamers, but I'm gonna keep it gully with you. Hardcore gamers aren't bringing Sony money. Sony has made, out of the 3 big companies, Sony has made the least profit in 2018. And you wondering, wow, how could that be? Sony sold nearly 100 million. They sold like 100 million consoles. They got all the first party. They got a lot of first party exclusives. And they got this going for them. But you know what that means? They're spending a lot of money. And when you spend money on making consoles, which I understand, you got to have your software sales got to be on fleek. They got to be selling. And just because they are selling doesn't mean they're selling the amount that it takes to really make a profit, because console development costs a lot of fucking money. Lots of money. Console development costs a lot of money, and software sales cost a certain amount of money to make, but then when your profit, when you don't make enough money to recoup the loss of the console sales, you're gonna only make, but let's say this is right here is red and up above my hand is black. If you're making just like this, you're making maybe about 2 billion profit. But when your production costs are all the way down here, and your profit, and your red is down here, and your black is all of this above here to the top of my head, and you are making sales like that, money like that, that's going to make a lot of money. That's going to factor in, and that's what Microsoft has done. They have sold only about maybe 40 something million fucking consoles, which is crazy that they have making so much money. You know why? Because Game Pass, Xbox Live. Think about it. I was telling people, if people are buying games off of Game Pass, they're not going to GameStop. And when they don't go to GameStop, they're not buying cheap pre-owned games that are not, because pre-owned games don't fund Microsoft, Sony, or Nintendo. They fund GameStop. So if Microsoft is pushing a lot of their media through Game Pass, or they pushing their sales through digital, their profits are going up. You know why? Because they cutting out the pre-owned sales. GameStop is not cutting into their profit. That's pure profit. That's less money spent making a disc, and that's pure profit that they're making. This is why Sony this time around has come to Microsoft to use the Azure technology so they can build better cloud gaming, build better digital, like a better digital format, so they can push that. Because you think Sony's not focusing on it now because PS4 has been successful on its own, but like I said, it's not making them a lot of money. The PlayStation division is not bringing in the money that they want to bring in, whereas the Xbox division made $10 billion pure profit in 2018. Pure profit in 2018. Think about that. The company that's not even competing on the level of console sales has been making a shit ton of money compared to the company dominating. Yep. And look at that. Now you said it's on backwards compatibility. Backwards compatibility was something that Sony frowned upon. Like, oh no, nobody wants to play old ass games. Now look at what they're doing. Now you're going to be able to play PS4 games on this. Right? You see how funny that works? You see how it works? It's starting to show. Let me catch up with this comment section. I'm so sorry. You said, I think when they say casual, they mean like hard. They mean hardcore, as in stuff like Uncharted, not hardcore like Dark Souls. You might have a point there, Strategic. Of course, that's why a lot of people think console gaming is close to ending. Yeah, I think Microsoft sees that. I mean, hell, I can go on my PC right now and play Xbox Game Pass. And you know what? That's another thing. Like, Microsoft are putting a little bit into each of these baskets. Because if you put a little bit here, you might make people, that means people will start buying your product, and they don't even have to touch a console. Xbox console. And people saying, well, that means console gaming is dead. You think? We've been saying that for a while. Like, console gaming as we know it is dying. It really is. It really is. And nobody, not even the Nintendo fanboys, can complain about this. You know why? Because if you have a Switch, most Switch owners download their games directly. Most of them download their games directly. If I go to GameStop right now, there's not a lot of pre-owned games. Most of them, if they are shit third-party games. There's not a lot of pre-owned games. And hell, there's not even a lot of Switch games being sold at the store. You know why? Because Nintendo fans are downloading this shit digitally. So I don't want to hear nothing from any fucking fanboy from Nintendo trying to say that this is a problem. Because you have embraced it. Remember when Cuphead came out for it? Oh my god, Cuphead's coming. That means we getting Xbox Live. No, the fuck it doesn't. God, man, I fucking can't stand fanboys. But I can't really stand Nintendo fanboys. I've been having issues with fanboys and anti-SJWs for a while. And SJWs, but mostly anti-SJWs. I've been having a problem with them because their talking points are all from a place of being obnoxious as fuck. Like, very obnoxious. But Nintendo, they take a cake of, like you said, La La Land. It's like a delusion. But you saying fuck SJWs, but anti-SJWs have become just as bad. Anti-SJWs are on it, they are worse now. When I go to my suggestions, when I go to my YouTube account, I'm not getting SJW shit force fed to me. I have to worry about so much anti-SJW shit that it's ridiculous. I'm not getting forced I'm not getting forced SJW stuff. I'm getting forced people being anti-SJW, and the way they come across, they come across on like very, very hateful. To be honest with you, very hateful, because they like to blame everything on social justice warriors. Okay, and I equate that to a lot of them. That's bitch brains. If you ask me, that's bitch brain, and I say that because being in the black manosphere, and then being a man in general, you start to realize women like to blame a lot of shit on men. And these guys, and I call this bitch brain because a lot of the people, like these anti-SJWs, they constantly just like to reach and find stuff that you're not even thinking is SJW. You're not even thinking that. But then you got to hear a video, well, yeah, this is why it's like that and like that. And then you think about it. You make it sound like females aren't fans of anything. Females can't be gamers. You make it sound like this. So that sounds, I'm not even an SJW, man. But I understand you two create one another. Y'all should get in the ring and fucking kill each other. That's how I feel about it. Because they like Batman and Joker. They need one another. That's how I feel about SJWs and anti-SJWs. But yeah, to be honest, we're back to what I was saying, yo. Yep. You said it, Demetrius. More people will embrace digital. I'm looking at the comment sections here and here. I don't know why, but I guess because the ones show up in the comment section quicker on the phone than they do on my screen here, on my big screen. Yeah, they are embracing digital more. To get back on topic of it, they are embracing digital more, and there's no way to really do about it. And you think Sony don't want a piece of that pie? They want a piece of that pie. And look, everything that people complained about, look, and you said PS5. Remember that it's going to be backwards compatible with PS4. What has been saving Microsoft right now? Game Pass. What has been saving them? Backwards compatibility. What has been saving them? Xbox Live. Why do you think they're making so much money? People are starting to play. Like, people have been playing a lot of stuff. The Game Pass is like a good deal, to be honest with you. Sorry if you hear my chair squeaking. Yeah, it's squeaking. So yeah, it's been saving them a lot of money, to be honest with you. They don't even have to. In console gaming, as we know it, has definitely changed and is going to probably die off, because if this company can make billions of dollars without being a lead console seller, what does that tell you? That answers it right there. Let me see. My stream ain't coming in, so I guess I do have to read off the phone. Okay. Just woke up. Start going live. Yeah, I'm off work today. That's why I'm live at this point. And you say strategic Nintendo's very overrated? Yeah, they are. I mean, and people were actually complaining. Nintendo fanboys were complaining that the Uncharted games are like, why is there another Uncharted? I'm like, why is there another Mario game? Why is there another Zelda game? You know, why is there another Smash Brothers game? Why is there another Yoshi game? Why is there another? Shut up, fanboys! Shut up, Jesus, hypocrites! God damn it! They do have great games, but they making it sound like their games are so innovative and so new and fresh. They've been begging for Luigi's Mansion since what? Part 2 since what? How long? You want to talk about regurgitative? They don't have nothing new. They just have more of the same, and people feel that safety blanket, like, oh, I'm not much of a gamer, but Nintendo has kept me, safe. I am accustomed to that. I'm a neophobic gamer. And neophobia is the fear of new things. I know a lot of neophobic gamers who don't want to step out of their damn comfort zone. Look at me, man. I have a fucking Xbox One. I have original Xbox. I have a Wii U right here in my eyesight, an Xbox 360 in my eyesight, a PS3 right here, a Japanese Sega Saturn, a GameCube modified, an American Sega Saturn, a Dreamcast, a fucking Wii right here, Rob the Robot looking at me, a not N64, fuck that system, fucking Super Nintendo, a top-loading NES, an original NES, and a Sega Genesis and a portable Sega Genesis behind this fucking curtain. And you got no, I am not neophobic. I am a gamer. Okay? I am a gamer. It's what I do. I like gaming at my leisure time. Yes. A GameCube, a freaking GameCube, modified right here. You see a switch on the back? Japanese, American, Game Boy player. All you need is the Japanese disc. You want to play your Game Boy Advance games? Boom, good to go. Playing right through the GameCube. All you gotta do is just put the disc in. It comes with a disc, and you put the American Game Boy player disc is right there. All I need is the Japanese one, which I have over here on my shelf. And you will be able to actually play Game Boy Advance games from Japan or America. And don't forget the pop-up. Don't pull them out. Press the button to pop up the disc. Because there's a ball, like a 3-point ball pinion thing. You just pop that up and they come up. But I like how this look with the Game Boy Player on it. And what's this, people? The remote control to a Wavebird. Yes. Remember this? The only thing it didn't have was rumble, but then again, so what? You know, for its time, it was a remote, like Nintendo. This when Nintendo was really being innovative. Motion controls to me is not innovative. You know, it's not that innovative. Like Nintendo really game wise. Then they had the Donkey Konga drums. They had a couple things. It was fun. I really had fun with the GameCube. That's why it stands as my favorite Nintendo console. It does. Yeah, and you still have it. Yeah, it's good. Don't let that shit go. Unless it breaks down a million pieces. And then on top of that, right here near my big screen TV, I have my original Xbox One, my PS4, and I have a dock for my Switch. But then on my HDT, my 4K TV over there near my bed, I have another dock for the Switch, and I have my Xbox One X. Man, I bought Aquaman for the for 4K because you know you play 4K Blu-ray through the Xbox. Like it's a bona fide 4K on Blu-ray player. And yo, Aquaman looks fucking amazing, man. It looks amazing. Like, and then even playing the differential of playing Crackdown 3, I came over to my plasma TV and played it on my original Xbox One. It looked dark. It's not the character's not in detail. But then I popped that same game in on my Xbox One X, and it looks fucking amazing in comparison. And that shows me that the Xbox One X is for real about being a more powerful console than the original and upscaling games. And they don't just stop at their own games. They have a lot of their third-party games have been given the 4K HD treatment. I'm not saying go to that, but when I bought that 4K TV, I figured why not. But it wasn't like something like, okay, I need to just trade in my other one. And no, I kept both of them. I got both of my Xbox Ones, you know. But let me see. You said, Chris, you had some fun with GameCube, Fire Emblem Path of Radiance. Mine was Tales of Symphonia. Fucking, what was the game? Resident Evil Remake. Oh, damn. Metroid Prime 1 and 2, which I think I still have. I even have this rarity. Let me show you something that I have, which is rare. Well, I think it's rare. It could cost a pretty penny. Watch out, Petey. My dog always want to be in the camera. Hold on. Oh, man. Where is it at? Let me see. These were these promotional discs. I remember they were coming with the silver GameCube. I have Twin Snakes also. I forgot. I have Twin Snakes as well. Now, this came promotional. I think this came with the silver GameCubes, but people were trading them in because they didn't want the game because they were old. They was idiots. Look at this. Legend of Zelda promotional disc. Look. Promotional disc. And it came with one disc. They got the controls here. It's the collector's edition promotional disc. Look what it came with. It came with the original Legend of Zelda. It came with Zelda 2, Ocarina of Time, and Majora's Mask. And now I don't even have to get an N64 again to play fucking Majora's Mask because the controls suck donkey dick on that goddamn one. Sorry, my dog. As you can see, he has made his way into the camera as usual. You already ate your food. Get down. Jesus, sorry about that, people. But yes, this is very rare. Well, not very rare, but let's see how much this thing is worth. Let me go 1 second. Let's see how much let's go to eBay real quick. I'll give you a synopsis on this. Let me turn on my thing. Let's go to my eBay account. I was on eBay for a minute, but then I realized I was spending too much money, so I had to refrain from eBay and Amazon because they are your friends. Let's go to shopping. Where's my eBay account at? Did I delete it to stop myself? Oh no, I'll put it over here. Oh yeah, Bots and Kaidos. I gotta get that game. Let's put in. Let's see what this goes for on eBay. Legend of Zelda Collector's Edition. Damn, somebody's selling it for $9. You might want to jump on it if you got an eBay membership. But people are selling it for, it's going for like 52, 76, 42, 35 is best over. Like, they selling the case by itself for $20 if you got the disc by itself. I know Urban Rain. You told me about that. You had me look that up. I still. Thanks for reminding me about that. I will. And let me see how much Majora's Mask cartridge alone worth too. But yeah, you can get it between. You can find it for like $40 to $75. This promotional disc here, in certain places. But somebody actually selling it, I think, for $9. They don't know what they got. They really don't know what they got. And I'm not going to say shit to them. If you want to get it, get on eBay now and look into it. Let me look more into it for you. Hold on. Let me make sure the game is in here. It has one bid and it has 6 days. And it's good. It's in good condition, manual included. And this person don't know what it is. They don't know what they got. So if you got $8.99 and you want to bid and go a little bit higher, go on to eBay right now and put in Nintendo GameCube The Legend of Zelda Collector's Edition. You'll see one that's on auction for $8.99. If you have a GameCube, try to get this one. Alright, and you said Urban Rain. Let's go back to look at that game again. Let's go to enter.